View the following program in its entirety with Xfinity On Demand by selecting Get Local and choosing All HS Sports. For Xfinity X1 customers, scroll over to Xfinity Services and select Get Local.
You're watching the Comcast Network. CN100, Chicago.
Coach Lynch is an outstanding competitor. We saw him, play at Mount Carmel, played against him. He knows what he's doing. He's been around the game so much, and I think he's brought some new energy to Mount Carmel.
Every year it seems like they reload. They may not be the biggest team, but they have a lot of confidence and they fly around. And you can tell Coach Sincera has that team believing, and that's the number one thing in high school football. If you believe, you can go a long way, and that's why the program's been so successful.
There's no tougher place to play, I think, than Gately on a Friday night, especially. I think it's a great thing for these kids to be a part of so early in the season. So we'll handle it basically like a playoff game.
It's going to be electric. You come to Mount Carmel to play in big-time games, and this is a big-time game, and our kids and our seniors will be more than prepared.
Welcome to the south side of Chicago, everybody. Gately Stadium is the site tonight of our CN100 Game of the Week tonight. Two of the premier high school football programs in the state of Illinois as Maine South gets set to take on Mount Carmel. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jim Blaney, along with my Hall of Fame partner, Jack McInerney. Mark Kruger will be along in just a little bit. An outstanding matchup tonight between two teams that are very used to hanging state championship banners at their respective schools. Maine South last year, Jack, knocked out in the semifinals in 8A. We had the privilege to see them play last week, and it seems like every year we talk about Maine South's offense. But the thing that impressed me most in their victory over Glenbard West was their defense.
Well, anytime you have 7 starters coming back, that's going to be impressive. That gives you an awful lot of confidence. Now, they've over the years been known for their offense. As we all well know, they score a lot of points, usually average over 40. But the last couple of years, they've really gotten stronger defensively. And this year is really a team that is really structured for the defense. And the other thing that goes along with defensive football all the time is special teams. And they do not make very many mistakes in the special team area.
The biggest change for Mount Carmel coming into this season is Frank Lenti has been succeeded as head coach by former Heisman Trophy nominee Jordan Lynch, who takes over the program. We'll talk about him and taking over the program and all that as we go on tonight. But, Jack, what I want to talk about is what did we learn from their win last week? They beat Hope Academy rather handily. It's going to be a much different test for the Caravan tonight.
Jim, I really don't know what we learned from that win last week. They scored 42 points. Their opponent, Hope, scored 7. But we got to remember this. Hope Academy is a 2A school. It was not a very competitive game whatsoever. It was like probably a scrimmage. So they're going to be really tested tonight by an outstanding Maine South Hawk football team. Will Mount Carmel show that, the Catholic League is what they've always been? I don't know. It's going to be a big, tough game for Mount Carmel tonight.
Mark Kruger tells us from the sideline that it is just starting to drizzle. First down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Primovic stands and fires, throws, has his man, has a completion, staying on his feet and going into the end zone for the touchdown is Tony Livermore from 21 yards out. Jack, I think we've got a quick answer. Mount Carmel is ready for the number 5 team in the state.
Well, combination there of a good throw and a good route and a poor tackle. And he broke loose to get into the end zone. You got to squeeze him into the sideline. You can see the top of your screen. It's a good short throw, but you can see the missed tackle right there by 2 players. And with good hustle, he gets into the end zone. What a heck of a start for Mount Carmel here.
Mount Carmel trying to defend again on 3rd down, and Sarah carries. He'll have a first down and more, and he's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown from 18 yards out. So just like last week, Maine South couldn't get anything on the board in the first quarter, but early in the second they get their first score.
Well, that was a nice drive. It was well orchestrated. Ran a lot of different routes, and also ran the football up inside to keep those linebackers in tight so they couldn't help out on the outside. So just a good drive by Maine South here. And this is what Sarah did last week. The ride comes back on the option, the weak side, shows the speed, and it was in man coverage, so they were run off. There was nobody that was on the quarterback.
He reached the end zone regularly with the win last Friday night against Glenbard West.
Well, I suggest he could kick it away from McGee again.
He'll go to Livermore. He has it at the 2. Livermore cuts it up the middle of the field and has an opening. Livermore's behind everybody. Can he outrace everybody to the end zone? Livermore to the 20. He's down the sideline. 98 yards on the kickoff return. So they kick it away from McGee, and Livermore makes them pay.
Well, now what's their choice on the next kickoff? He just really turned it on, but that kick return team did a nice job of creating a seam and lane, running lane in there. And what I like about Livermore is he never stopped. He got into that seam and he just turned it on and just did a great job of getting up the field and into the end zone for Mount Carmel, getting them right back in the ball game.
Watch
now
when he
watch
gets to
the
the middle
break
of the
here.
field.
You can see the kick out blocks here. Now he cuts back. There's the lane, and he turns it on with the dip right out here. Excellent speed right here by Livermore, and just an outstanding job by the special teams.
Cole Dow on 3rd down and 14. Deep drop. Takes a look. Goes down the sideline. Has his man open. Right on the money. Ryan Kilberg has the football. Dragged down at the 20-yard line. McGee had the coverage. What a throw by Cole Dow.
Well, David Sarah mentioned that Cole Dow is more of a gunslinger than Bobby and Sarah is, and he shows it right here, puts the ball right on the money. We talked about how they lull you to sleep with those short routes on the outside, little dink screens on the outside. The DBs come up, and then eventually you just go vertical on them. Perfect example right there. Good throw right there by Dow, and an excellent catch by Kilberg.
Primovic throws, and again,
Picked off.
the ball was knocked away, and we do not have a whistle, and it is run back into the end zone. Signal touchdown, Maine South. No flags down. Touchdown for the Hawks. Jimmy Bartell came up with the interception.
Well, you might have gone to the well once too often there. We went to the same route, and the DB came up and made the pop, and the ball was in the air and picked off. Good job right there by the defense. They had to make a stop. Neither team was making big stops all night. It was more of the offense hurting themselves rather than the defense stopping anybody. Top of your screen, ball is just hits him in the knee more or less. And Jimmy Bartell, Johnny on the spot, comes up on the deflection, picks it off and takes it in for 25 yards for a touchdown.
To view this exclusive Xfinity TV programming in its entirety, check the CN100 schedule for a list of airtimes, or view this program anytime on demand by selecting Get Local and choosing CN100. For Xfinity X1 customers, scroll over to Xfinity Services and select Get Local.